Hey everybody, Cinco here. Thanks for joining me. I hope y'all can hear me okay. This is the first time I'm doing a multi-stream, so I've got my software kind of set up. If you see me looking over this way on the side of the camera, that's just because that's where I have my prompt monitor, so I know I got my little list of things to talk about there, stuff like that. So if y'all can do me a favor, again, this is the first time I'm using my my Streamlabs to do this. Usually, I mean, back in the day when I was really streaming often, it was pop culture stuff and gaming, mostly EVE Online. And I had everything just set up for Twitch. I did everything through Twitch. So this morning I got on and I kind of reorganized everything to go through X and to go through YouTube simultaneously. So if you could do me a favor, if you are able to see this and hear me okay, if you could just type something in the chat, let me know, hey, Cinco, we can hear you, or hey, man, you're an idiot, and we just see your mouth moving. If that's the case, then you can't even hear me telling you this. So that's gonna put a damper. Let me put a little note in chat. Can you hear me okay? Put a little note there. See if we can get something on that going there. I got the multi-stream chat going so I could see my folks that are coming in from YouTube as well as my folks coming in through X. I hope this blasted it out to the folks on X. I'm going to try, just make sure I got that all set up here. And we're going to start talking about some mining for beginners, home mining for beginners. Kind of a casual conversation today, as well as some Q&A. So, hey, Decentralized, thanks, man. Okay, good. Decentralized, do me a favor. Can you hear me all right? I saw your comment. I just went, oh, perfect. Thanks, BTC, Bob K. Appreciate it. All right, great. And I'm hoping you guys, I guess you knew this was going live because it put out like a little announcement on X. So, okay, good. So that makes me feel a little better that that's working properly. Okay, so just wanted to let you guys know, for all of you that have been sending me the well wishes and everything, today is the first day I am actually like feeling better. So thank you all very much. For those that don't know, I did have emergency surgery last weekend during the Memorial Day holiday. It was a little rough. I was in the hospital for a few days and I was just drained. So a lot of my my videos and things like that got delayed. I just didn't have the energy to do it, guys. But I thank you for everyone who sent me well wishes, and I'm back, and I'm going to try my best to try to stay on a schedule with this stuff. So here we go. We're going to start getting into this. Feel free, if you have questions, ask in the chat. I will keep an eye on it. If it is something that I am going to be talking about, I may not answer your question right away. I'll just let you know, hey, we're going to be talking about that. But I will do my best to be on top of that. Now, the other thing, if I do not know the answer to something, I will tell you, and I'm going to put a note. I've got a little whiteboard over here, a little digital whiteboard that I can take notes, and I will get back to you guys about that, okay? I am not the world's greatest expert on everything. I never will claim to be that. Anyone who does, I would say that be suspect of them. There is nobody that is a 100% expert on absolutely everything when it comes to home mining. A lot of us just kind of find our way through it, and then you become, proficient at it as you do it. So what are we going to go over today? The main things are, number one, what is home mining? Number two, why should you home mine? Number three, who should home mine? Number four, what kind of costs are involved? Not just monetary, but infrastructure, time, emotional, things like that. That investment of yourself that you are going to make into home mining, okay? That's some of the stuff we're going to talk about. Now, obviously, everything we're talking about today is from my perspective. So that does not necessarily mean it will be your perspective. I will say some things are, they are of value, or they are a good price. For you, they might not be. For you, they might be cheap, okay? I mean, my budget and your budget are probably two different things, okay? So I am by no means a rich man, all right? You see my office behind me with all the wires hanging and stuff. I've kind of got we're renovating the home finally after years and years. We are renovating the home, but everything kind of hit the brakes when I went into the hospital last week. So a lot of the projects we had lined up, flooring, things like that, just completely stopped until I can make sure that, I'm healthy enough to have workers coming in and out of my house, and I feel okay with that. I do work from home for my fiat day job. And number two, obviously there are costs associated with the surgery. So even though I have very good health insurance, there's still co-pays and things like that. So I'm waiting to see whether those projects are going to finish. One of the projects is completely building out a part of my garage as a I call it the mining barn, for lack of a better term. It's going to be has its own air conditioning unit, has its own power, it has its own breaker box, all that. That's not cheap. Okay, we're going to talk about that in infrastructure as well. So we'll talk a little bit about things like that, but we're going to get into it right now because it is 12:03 Central U.S. Standard Time. I did promise a noon start time. There's no set time for how long this is going to go, guys, okay? If we have a good conversation going, I'm off of work this week. Like I said, I'm still recuperating, so I am off of work this week. I have no upper time limit on this. When it gets to the point that it feels like the conversation should end, then the conversation will end. If we need to revisit things in the future, then we can do that. So, here we go. Why should you mine? Well, that's a really, really good question that I think a lot of us ask. Why should I even bother mining? Why should I mine? A, is it fun? B, is it worth it financially? Could be. I think a lot of us get into this or become interested in it, in mining, because it's different than just investing. Okay? When you invest, you find a stock you like. You put some money from your bank account into your stock account. You purchase that stock. Now you hold it. Okay. All right. But did you do anything to create within that sphere? No. Some of us are creators. Some of us are have that exploration spirit. Some of us have that builder spirit, and we want to feel like we actually did something to earn it. Okay, that's usually the person you're going to be looking at that is a miner. It's a person who says, yeah, I'm enjoying, being part of the Bitcoin community, and I enjoy stacking sats, which is a great thing. I'm not saying that's not. We'll get into DCAing stuff in a little bit. But some people say, I want a little more. I want to do a little more. Or you have that adventurous spirit and you say, you know what? I would really like to hit a block. I would really like to hit a block and earn that 3.125 Bitcoin. Now, it's funny because nowadays we talk about 3.125 Bitcoin like it's a lot. We look back 10 years ago, 3.125 Bitcoin was virtually nothing, especially in the mining sphere before the halvings, right? So it's one of those things like, wow, how times have changed as this program that Satoshi designed, this method where the halvings happen. And the mining that happens, it used to just be like, you stick your digital shovel in the ground and you got a bunch of Bitcoin. Nowadays, we fight tooth and nail just to get a couple Bitcoin, right? It can take you, if you're a DCA stacker, it could take you a year. It could take you many years. You may never hit a full coin. You may never be a whole coiner, right? With mining, every 10 minutes, you have a chance to become not only a whole coiner, but a 3.125 coin holder. Okay, you always have that chance. Are the chances great? No, guys, they're not great. Okay, there are corporate entities and conglomerations, and I call them cartels at play that are against us. The little guy, the guy sitting in his dirty little office with a couple bit axes on a shelf back there. All right, there's forces against us that do not want us to earn that 3.125. Okay, they want it, and they earn it daily. And when I say daily, it's more than daily. They earn it hourly. Let's pull up mempool real quick. I'm going to put that up. Pull out space. I'm just going to go to the regular mempool.space. I'm not pulling up the one on my Umbrel. So let's go ahead here and we'll switch screens real quick for y'all. There we go. So, and this is a completely different topic, but if you guys follow me on X, you know that I talk about the mining cartels. But look, Foundry, via BTC, Foundry, Antpool, Foundry. All right, we've got all these, you see these names constantly over and over and over again. All right, where's the one that I love to point out? Mara, okay, yeah, Mara Pool. All these large pools, these cartels that hit the blocks, right? So when you look at this, like we'll just take Foundry as an example for right now. 3.125 Bitcoin, 3.125 Bitcoin, 3.125 Bitcoin, 3.125 Bitcoin. You see where I'm going with that, right? This is not easy. This is not something that's just going to be like I plug in my Gamma and I watch it cycle 3 times and all of a sudden I'm rich. Okay, It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So let's go ahead and burst that bubble right now. If you believe that this is your get-rich-quick scheme, I'm going to go ahead and advise you to probably put down the keyboard and wait. You have to have some realistic expectations with this, okay? You have to have some realistic expectations. There are big forces at play here. Now, does that mean that you can't hit it? No, it does not what it means. There's already been a couple solo miners that have hit. There have been a couple on the BitAxe lists that have hit. So they're very few and far between. Very few and far between, guys. But yeah, these guys are pumping out so much hash rate that the odds are just in their favor. But they also have hundreds of thousands and millions of US fiat dollars invested in their mining farms. Okay, so their infrastructure is way built out for that. Now, again, why should you mine? Cinco, you're telling me all this crap of why I shouldn't mine. Well, why should you mine? Because that's how we decentralize the network. That's how we get a chance to hit that 3.125. That's how we get that chance to go ahead and earn that that Bitcoin without investing in a crap ton of money of our paycheck in there. Okay, that's how we do it. If you have that adventurous spirit, you have that builder spirit, if you have that underdog spirit, then mining's probably for you. Okay? Who can mine? Guys, anybody can mine. Anybody can mine. All right? Anyone, you do not need to be a technical wizard to mine. Let me clear that up right now. You do not need to be a technical wizard to mine Bitcoin. I'm not just going to be talking about BitAxes today, so please understand that. It's not just going to be the only thing we're talking about, but it's the easiest example that I can use, okay? So, sorry, I'm pulling up a couple screens there. Oh, sorry. All right, got that. All right. Okay, so with something like a BitAxe, what's your investment? You're looking at currently, depending on who you go with, you're looking at about $150 average. $150, you're mining Bitcoin. Okay? It's that simple. How long does it take to set up? A few minutes. As long as you have an Ethernet connection or a Wi-Fi connection and a power plug, you're pretty much good to go. And of course, a wallet. You need to have a wallet. We're not going to get into the basics of that. I'm going to assume that everyone here that I am talking with today knows what a wallet is, a Bitcoin wallet. Okay. If you don't, feel free to message me on X. I will gladly go through the absolute basics of Bitcoin with you, but that's not the purpose of today's talk. Okay. So 3 things you need. You need electricity, you need an internet connection, and you need a wallet. And you're a miner. Okay, at that point. Now, there are going to be the haters out there that say things like, oh, you have a BitAxe, you're never going to hit anything, you're LARPing. It's not real Bitcoin mining. Guys, it's real Bitcoin mining. You have a mining device, it is on the network, it is searching, it is participating in the global hash rate, it is trying to solve blocks, and it has a chance to hit one. Congratulations, according to what Satoshi said mining is, you're a miner. Okay, so don't worry about that. So, let me kind of go into what this is. So, the reason why I'm talking about the BitAxe, the BitAxe is the most accessible miner on the market right now for a new person. Okay, it's easy to use. It's simple. Let me see if I'm going to pull up a picture of. I think I got some over here. Give me a second here. There we go. I'm gonna pull up PlebSource's website real quick, just because I had it pulled up before. Okay, so just as an example, okay, and I just grabbed PlebSource at random here. Currently, $120 US fiat dollars. You can get yourself a Gamma. Okay, Gamma is the most popular right now. You're going to be coming into the mining world at 1.2 terahash a second. Is that a lot? No, it's not. It's not a lot. Can it solve a block? Yeah, it can. It's a very, very off chance, but it can. The main thing with this is it gets you started. Okay, it gets you into the world of mining. It gets you started with the hardware. You start learning about how mining works with a device like this. That is the biggest advantage of a BitAxe. All right, you've done a couple things when you buy a BitAxe. Number one, you've helped to decentralize the mining network. As we were talking about over here, these guys have these mega units, these huge farms. They're blowing so much electricity out the door as they mine every 10 minutes. It's unbelievable. Okay. You have a chance to steal one of those blocks away from them with something like this. Okay. Now remember, a block right now is 3.125 Bitcoin. Had mine getting paid daily mining Brains Pool before setting up my node. There you go. Okay, we're going to talk about pools as well, Lifer. We are definitely going to talk about the pools. So this gets you started. Generally, a Gamma is classified, in my book, as a lottery mining device. A lottery mining device means that every 10 minutes, okay, so how this works, every 10 minutes, about every 10 minutes, right now it's about every 10.4, about every 10 and a half minutes, a block is mined. When a block is mined, the transactions in that block go to the rest of the network. They're confirmed. There is consensus. Everyone agrees these are good transactions. And then the person or the device that mined that block, I'll say the device that mined that block, the owner of it gets a reward of 3.125 Bitcoin for opening the next block in the chain. Okay? So, the BitAxe. Oh, where's my little picture? Went to the wrong one. There we go. This is contributing to that global hash rate. Okay? It's doing it at a low wattage of power. Guys, 21 watts of power, it's not much. You're not going to break the bank on your electric bill with this, no matter what your electric rate is. Okay? Because that electric rate is something that's a big deal for home miners. Okay? This little device right here gets your foot in the door. $120, or depending if you go with another. There are other very, very good, reputable sellers of BitAxes out there. Or you can build your own. If you're technical, build your own. You're going to be above my skill level with that. I'm not ready to build my own yet. My hands are not steady enough to be soldering anymore. I used to do it in the Navy, but I'm not at that point anymore. If you hear a pause while I'm talking, guys, it's because I'm taking a drink of water. So please forgive me if I do that. So, the BitAxe is designed to mine the SHA-256 coins, namely Bitcoin. Okay, you can mine other Digibyte and Bitcoin Cash and all that, but you know the rule with that, right? You guys know the rule when it comes to Bitcoin and other, like the other coins, right? There's one rule.
There is no second best.
There is no second best, guys. All right, so we should be mining Bitcoin. That's all I'm going to say. That's my little somewhat maxi statement for the day. All right, but you can go to like over here to bitaxe.org.buy, find yourself, do your research. I have dealt with a number of these resellers and BitAxe builders on here, and for the most part, I've never had a problem. The ones that I seem to have the best relationship with, the ones that I can say that have the best customer service, I've never had an issue, have fast shipping. Solo Satoshi, okay, never had an issue with them. Anytime I reach out to them, they get right back to me. Pleb Source gets right back to me if I ever reach out to them, like super duper quick. Again, so these two right here, the guys at, where's Ixtech Mining? Okay, so Ixtech Mining, another great group. They get back to you super quick as well. They ship super fast. Love them. And where's my, let me see here. I have not dealt with Altair yet, but I hear good things about them. Now, I'm not saying this that these other companies are bad. Okay, Crypto Cloaks, great guys. I believe they're in Colorado. I'm not saying these other places are bad. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I haven't really dealt with them, so I don't know. But do your research, do your due diligence. Look at the ratings. Look at the reviews. Look online. Ask on X. Just simply post up on X. Hey guys, where should I buy my BitAxe? Somebody will start giving you an opinion whether you want it or not, and away you will go with getting those opinions. Okay. So that's talking about the BitAxe. That's number one. That's the $120 entrance into the world. Cinco, I'm not ready to invest a bunch of money into buying a device. $120 investment to me seems like it's just not something I want to do right now. What's another avenue I can go? If you want to play around with it and experiment, there are other options, okay? And I'm just going to kind of give you one right now. Let me find it. Where to put it? You guys get to see my desktop now. Pull this up. Let me see here. Oh, I already got it up on another screen. There we go. Okay. So this is not. What the heck? What are you doing, Cinco? Continue. Okay. So this is I did this for the simple purpose of to demonstrate, okay? So let me move this over here real quick so I can make it a little easier to read on the screen. Pull the mempool back up. I'm going to put this right here in the middle. Okay. This is called Unmineable. Okay. You can go to unmineable.com. I'm going to put that in the chat right now just so you know. Unmineable.com. So just putting that in there. Unmineable is a piece of software that you can put on your computer. You can mine. There is a bunch of other coins on there that you can mine as well. But basically, you plug in your wallet address, you download this little tiny piece of software onto your computer, and it will use your GPU or your CPU to mine Bitcoin. Now, this has been running for about 18 hours, and I've made 145 Satoshis. It's nothing, okay? It's literally not going to make you rich off something like this. But if you are exploring mining and you're just trying to get into it, maybe you've got a kid that you want to try to work with, your one of your children that you want to start introducing to mining as well, but you don't want to invest $120 into a BitAxe or something like that right now, put them on Unmineable, guys. Okay, again, is it the best? No, it is most certainly not, but it's a start, okay? So you're right there. Look, it's got my computer. It's using my GPU right now. To go ahead and it's trying to find and create, to scoop up those Satoshis. Okay? So we're not even going to see this move. I could leave this up the entire live stream. We're not even going to see it move. It's not the point. Point is it's mining. Okay? So it's pool mining as well. So we're going to talk about that here in a minute. So $120 gets you started with a BitAxe. Let's talk about the infrastructure and the budget. Okay? So $120 gets you the device, gets you the BitAxe. What other costs are associated with mining? Honestly, to get started, that can right there get you going. Other than your electric bill is going to go up a couple bucks a month, maybe. All right, depending on your power rate, maybe a couple bucks a month. The BitAxes, they do not break the bank when it comes to power cost. All right, so be aware of that. As you start getting more into this, if you catch the miner bug, it happens, guys. A lot of us do. All right? You catch the miner bug, you end up like some of us where you've got multiple devices. Which hand? There we go, Cinco. Whoop, there we go. You've got multiple devices, and you're mining different things. Or on different things, rather, I should say. You're mining on different things. Then this is what's going to happen. You're going to end up buying a second Gamma. You're going to get a Nerd QX. You're going to start looking at other devices that are bigger and badder and better. And I mean badder like, yo, that's bad, not like, oh my God, that's terrible. Sorry, guys. My throat gets really dry lately due to the I'm not going to be gross. I had like a breathing tube down my throat when I was in surgery and stuff, so my throat gets really dry this week. Anyway, something like that, you're going to catch the bug. If you do, you're looking at the next steps. All right. So if you're a guy and you're married, I'm going to warn you right now. Please make sure that your spouse is really involved and happy with Bitcoin. That you've orange pilled him or her. Pardon me. I'm sorry about that. Make sure you've orange pilled him or her. Look, Foundry found another. Oh, you guys can't see that on my screen. Foundry just found another darn block. Make sure that they're orange pilled, guys. If they're not, when they start seeing the bills come in for what you're doing with your infrastructure, they're probably gonna cut some body part off that you really wanted to keep. Okay. Luckily, my wife is orange pilled. We sat down one day. We looked at some MicroStrategy videos. No matter what you think of Michael Saylor, whether you think he is the messiah of Bitcoin or you think he is a shill, not my place to say, but I will say the man knows how to speak. He knows how to sell. And he convinced my wife that Bitcoin was the way to go. Okay? And, one of the main things that really hit home with her once it sunk in was the...
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, there's a name for them. We call them poor.
Okay, that really hit home with her. And since then, whenever she sees the FedEx guy pull up to the front of the house and drop off a new box with a new miner in it, she kind of just rolls with it. So I'm lucky, all right? I promise you I'm lucky in that aspect. I hope you are too. But just kind of keeping you realistic with that, it might be expensive as you get into this. Just as some examples, when you start getting out of the Bitaxes, now you're looking at things like, let's pull it up. Let's just not talk about it. Let's pull it up. Let me see here. I'm going to go to my Old Faithful. Just as an example. Go to eBay. All right, so let's look up Antminer. Okay? I'm going to do an S9. And I know right now there's probably people out there that are miners that are rolling their eyes going, oh my God, why would you get an S9? It's a great place to start for a used device, okay? Because you can plug it into a regular plug in your house. An S9 does not require you to go ahead and plug it into the dryer plug or have an electrician come out. So, for about the same price as a Bitax Gamma, you can get an S9 that's going to hash about 13 times more than the Gamma. And there's a little more technical stuff that goes with it. There's a... You'll have to, get it on your pool or whatever you're going to do with it, or, if you're going to solo mine. But generally, I go into these, I put these on my pool. So you're going to have to start doing a little more complex stuff. It's not really that hard. Just a little more complex than just plugging in the Gamma, putting it on the Wi-Fi and letting it go with your wallet address. But this is generally a next step for a lot of people, okay? You start seeing people do this. One of the things I did was I went around to my area Goodwills. It was honestly the first time I'd ever been in a Goodwill. And, pardon me, guys, I'm so sorry about the coughing. And I looked around, I saw that they do have some electronics. I said, you guys ever get, and guys, I used the term, I said crypto miner because I didn't want to confuse anyone. I said, you guys ever get crypto miners in here? And out of the 4 places I went to, 3 of them looked at me like, they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And then one had a young guy at the counter, and he said every once in a while we'll get like an Antminer in here. He said generally we send them off to there's a company that they use that if there's certain things come in on a list, if they don't sell like pretty quickly, they go ahead and send them off to a service and they get bought up in bulk. So I just said to them, I was like, hey, if you get any of these in, could I leave my phone number with you? If you guys get an Antminer come in or something, give me a call. I'll come look at it. I might buy it. Even if it's broken, I might just get it for parts. I have not gotten a call yet, but every couple of weeks I do the circuit and I go out to the different Goodwills just to see if I can get a used Antminer. You never know. If I can pick one up for $20, it's going to be worth it, right? My return on investment is going to happen pretty quick. Now, these suckers eat up a lot more electricity, guys. A lot more electricity. All right. So if you are new to this and you're still exploring it and you're excited about mining and you want to jump in with both feet, I get it. I'm one of those people. I do that with my hobbies as well and the things I'm interested in. I just go ahead and jump in, and I'm going to recommend please don't do that. Okay. Get yourself a Bitax first. Go to one of these guys that we were talking about. Go to one of these vendors. Get yourself a Bitax. Get it from a reputable dealer, somebody that you can actually talk to. Please don't pick it up off of Amazon, okay? If you don't have to, please don't pick it up off of Amazon. You're not going to get the customer service that you're going to need. If your BitAxe overheats on day 3 and you're not sure what to do, yes, you can go on X, you can go in different places, but there's nothing like talking to someone who actually had that device in their hand before it was sent to you. Okay? Every time I have reached out to PlebSource, one of the guys have gotten back to me. Every time I've reached out to Solo Satoshi, one of the guys have gotten back to me. Okay? Xtech Mining, whenever I've reached out to, or Xtech, every time I've reached out to them, one of the people there got back to me. Crypto Cloaks, super responsive. Okay? So the customer service with this is a big deal. One of the ways people get frustrated and leave this, I'm not going to call it a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Leave this home mining lifestyle is they buy a device, they get it at home, they set it up, it runs for a couple hours, it overheats, they don't know what to do. Pardon me, they don't have anyone that can help them. They get frustrated, and now they have a $120 paperweight because now they don't want to use it anymore or they don't know how to fix it. The best thing you can do is buy from a reputable dealer. That's going to get back to you super quick. Again, this is personal experience. I'm not being paid by these people, just so you understand that. I am not shilling for them, but I have had great experiences with these two especially, Solo Satoshi, PlebSource. And if I say there's a problem, they're helping me. They've even helped me with devices that they didn't sell me. Okay, so that's just the quality of people you're dealing with there. All right, so they don't say like, well, did you buy it from me? And if I said no, they would say, well, then I can't help you. You need to contact the manufacturer. They try to do troubleshooting with me, okay? So that's what's great about that. So I know I'm bouncing back and forth here, but so far we've talked 3 different avenues. You've got, oh, look, guys, we made 2 Satoshis while we've been sitting here. Oh, my God, I said it wouldn't move. I'm a liar, so I'm wrong. But anyway, we made 2 Satoshis while we've been sitting here, okay, through that little unminable pool. And what did that cost us? Pennies, because it's just the power bill coming off my main PC. So, yeah, I mean, you can put that up. That gets your feet wet in mining, right? We've talked about the BitAxes. Now we're starting to talk about something a little bigger. And, of course, you can go even bigger from here. Right? You can go super big from here if you wanted to. But what am I running right now? That's a good question. So what is Cinco running in his little mining farm? I'm thinking, guys. Let me see here. I've got, okay, in this room alone, in my office, and that shelf is going away today, just so you know, my wife is helping me build a new shelf so it doesn't look all Frankenstein. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 Solo Satoshi Gammas. I've got 1, 2 PlebSource Gammas. I've got, I'm trying to go, come on, there we go. Down here, I've got a bunch of little nerd miners, the little pocket nerd miners. They're like this big. Let me pull up what they look like, just so you know. And this is what got me into mining, guys, right here. But the first thing I ever bought was a nerd miner. They were like $15 when I bought them, okay? It's a tiny little Raspberry Pi device. You can build this yourself. I promise you, even if you are not very technical, you can get the parts for one of these. You can go right on Amazon. You can build one yourself for about $25, about $35 if you want to have a little screen on it as well, okay? But they're super easy to build. Will one of these hit a block? No. I'm going to tell you right now, the likelihood of one of these ever hitting a block is so astronomically small that it's just, yeah. I've got like 6 of them back there that I built. I bought one and then I built the rest myself. And they run because I built them and they're mine. So I have them on a little USB brick that they go. Okay? I have them in a public pool. Just hashing away. They don't do much. They hash like in the 78 kilohash range. All right, it's very, very, very low. Do I recommend this? If you got a kid and you want them to have a miner, you can do this. Still recommend the BitAxe above that, but that's where I got started. Okay, with one of those. So, full disclosure. So we got that. You got your S9s. And now you can go up from there. We're talking about infrastructure. What are you going to need to do this? What are you going to need? Holy cow. You know, guys, I am so silly. I'm talking to you about something and I don't even have the right screen up. How do y'all put up with me? I swear. This guy, this Cinco guy, he's such a tool. Got these little things right here. These little Raspberry Pi units. Okay? Little tiny simple things. All right? The way I figured it was, I think my first one I spent like 15, 20 bucks on it. If I lost 15, 20 bucks on it, then okay, big deal. It was worth the risk. But it did get me into it. All right? A lot of the things, a lot of these little, like the components, the cases and stuff, if you got a 3D printer, you can print it yourself. So anyway, that's that. So what other infrastructure are we talking about? As you gear up, you might need things like extra electrical sockets. You might need better internet. Okay, I already have business class internet that I get through AT&T Fiber. I do that because I do work from home. My wife and I both work from home, and just for our profession, we need to have that fast and steady internet. So we already had that. You may need increased internet. Now, if you're just running a couple gammas or like an S9 or something, you don't need a lot of internet, guys. It sends a tiny burst of information. That's the beauty of Bitcoin mining, right? It sends a tiny burst of information there. It sends a tiny burst of information back. It does its thing. So this isn't like streaming a video game where you need to have like this ultimate rig and all these really cool features for your internet just to be able to get it done. You don't need it. There's people doing this off of Starlink off the dashboard of their truck or on the beach or whatever. So you can do that. That's not a problem. But because I have so many devices right now, especially in my garage, I've got a bunch of bigger miners out there. I've got Avalons, Canon Avalon 1047s, stuff like that. I did have to get a couple 2 gig switches and a better router and running wires, because as you saw, I've got wires right now because of this Reno. I've got wires everywhere, guys. I mean, they're just hanging. I mean, it's crazy. My wife goes nuts. She wants to kill me, I swear to God. But infrastructure wise, you're going to need that. If you are looking to put something like a something bigger than an S9, so let's talk about. Let me see here. Let's go for like let's jump up to the S19. Okay, so an S19, you're going to need. Let me see, with PSU. Make sure it has the PSU on it because I want to show some accurate pricing. Right, so something like this, and again, I'm just randomly picking. I don't know who these people are that are selling this stuff, but a unit like this, which is going to get you roughly somewhere around 105 terahash a second. That's not bad for $339. But then let's go down here. Where's the? Here we go. Hash rate with the Brains OS. You got to be careful with that though. They do take a little cut. I think it's like 2%. But with the regular stock firmware on there, you're looking at about 95 terahash. Where is my? It's not telling me how many watts this thing is pulling. Oh, here we go. 3,400 watts. All right. You're going to need a like a dryer outlet for this. All right. You can't just plug this into your wall socket. So what we do in my house right now is when the dryer's not running, the Avalon is. Okay. So for about 2 hours every Sunday, my wife gets her dryer back and we plug that in, and she goes ahead and she does our laundry, or whenever we need to do laundry, if we go to the beach or whatever, of course. But otherwise, generally, that plug is one of our miners. If you're looking to get, now this is just what I've found, and I'm outside of Houston, Texas, in the USA. If you're looking to put a couple of these units in your house and you've done your power checks, how much is it going to cost you and all that, and you're okay with it, then you're looking at a need to contact an electrician to put in either one or a couple extra plugs so you can run multiple devices. All right, so dryer plug size. I was quoted about $500 a piece to have that done because they do put a new what's it called, a breaker in the box. They've got to run wires. They've got to mount everything in the wall. So here we go with those infrastructure costs, right? So the $339.99 item just costs you an additional $500 just if you don't have that plug. If you're in an apartment building, you don't own your house, you can't do modifications to it, this is probably already outside of your purview, okay? So that's the point where you want to look at something like the S9, okay? Or something else I've been looking into lately is something like this, the Urlacher. I'm doing some exploration on this right now. Looks like it's about close to $2,000, but it's a S19K that you can run off of a 120 power socket. Now, as far as I know, it doesn't run at full hash when you do that. Excuse me. But it's a modification that allows you to run a bigger unit on less power. And of course, you got that the lower hash rate because of that. Because all we're doing with mining is turning electricity into Bitcoin. All right. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. There are options, and we're not going to go into all those today. That's just not something that this video is going to be for. That this talk is going to be for. Anybody have any questions? We've been going for a little bit now. I see there's about, between my two chats, it looks like there's about 200 people watching right now. So just want to let you know I appreciate all of you. We're not done. We're still going. We've got time. I'm probably going to be here at least another 45 minutes. And this will be recorded. If anybody has to leave, this will be recorded and it will be on my YouTube channel. So, no stress there. If, I do appreciate your support. I want you to stay if you can, but the video for this will be posted afterwards today. So, going back over here. So I got my little cheat sheet of what I'm talking about. So yeah, $500 just to, plug this in and run it on the side. Then of course you have your electricity costs. Electricity costs are something you're going to have to be cognizant of. There are websites online that you can type in what type of miner you have, your electricity rate, and such, and it'll calculate for you. I know Voscoin has one. Voscoin calculator. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Don't let this be the end-all, be-all of what you're doing if you're looking at something like this. Okay. Yes, you don't want to be losing money, obviously, but at the same time, Bitcoin price, okay. Sorry, I'm just putting some stuff in here. Power cost, 0.075 is what I'm at right now. And I have a 1% pool fee because I am on Datum. So you can see here, look, it says estimated profit. Like it says, oh, annually you're going to lose $35. All right, this right here is where people start saying, well, it's better to just DCA. It's better to just stack sats. Emmanuel, the L7, I'll talk about that in 1 second. Let me pull that up. That's a good one to talk about. So I'll just get that prepped so we can talk about that. But at the current difficulty, people are saying, hey, it's not worth it to do that. That's according to the calculator. You're losing $35 a year, okay? And that's with a really good electrical rate. All right, it's a really good electrical rate. The difficulty is set to go down about 4% in 8 days. Okay, so that makes mining a little easier, quote unquote. All right. So then when you look at that, it looks like with the next difficulty adjustment, it looks like you're actually earning some on that note. Okay, now this is just a guess, of course. All right, that's just a guess. Now, I do it to stack sats. I'm doing it for the long term. I'm not doing it. I don't sell my Bitcoin. I don't sell it today. Thankfully, I don't have to do that. If you are looking for if you're looking to mine to make money today, that's a completely different discussion, and I am definitely not the guy to talk about for that. I mine as a hobby. I mine as a long-term. My time preference is very low. Okay, so I'm doing it to stack the sats and to subsidize my DCA, and my DCA subsidizes my mining. Okay, my dollar cost averaging. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So, Bitmain Antminer L7. Oops, that's just the power supply. Let's see if we can pull that up. So the L7s, you're looking at, see, that's like a Doge miner. A lot of them are like Doge miners. That's really outside of what I'm talking about today, because I don't mine these coins enough that I could tell you if it's really worth it, Emmanuel. I can do some figuring on it and let you know. I will tell you this. I did just get, and it arrived right as we started recording. I saw the FedEx guy on my Ring doorbell. I had someone send me a Gold Shell Mini Doge miner that they no longer wanted. All I had to do was pay shipping. And I said, hell yeah, I'll do it. Now, I know there's probably a lot of people right now that are on the stream and they're rolling their eyes and they're like, dude, you know the rule.
There is no second best.
I get it. I mine a couple different coins. I mine Caspa as well, okay? Difference is when I mine this stuff, I convert it. I basically exchange them for Satoshis. So I turn other coins into Bitcoin. But anyway, mining to me is fun. Doesn't matter the coin type. So I do it. I just don't really talk about the other ones too much because my main love and my focus is definitely on Bitcoin. But I do dabble. So the L7, I really couldn't tell you, bud. I can tell you just from a power standpoint. Let's take a look at like something like this. $3,000, right? What's the wattage it's pulling? Processing speed of 9.5 gigahash. I mean, you're going to get some Dogecoin, and if you're doing it on Litecoin, then you're getting the merge mining. But again, you gotta check your power costs and things like that, right? And if it's even worth it. I know Dogecoins have been taking a dive lately, so I don't know if I'd even want to look into that. But back to our friends over here on the Bitcoin side. So a lot of different ways you can go with that. So you can buy brand new equipment if you want. There's some equipment that's coming out right now, guys. It's called the the S23 that's coming out. Yeah, here it is. So this came out, and this is one of those, if you're thinking about getting into mining but you're a little nervous, I'm probably going to scare you a little bit with this because this is a con, this is not a pro to home mining. Again, my apologies for coughing. Bitmain announced the S23 series. It's their newest miner. It is, I think it's sub 10 joules per terahash of power. This thing is going to be a beast. It is going to be a mining beast. Okay, it's supposed to be quieter. It mines stronger, higher terahash. It uses less power. Okay, you're still going to need special plugs in your house for it. And I know they're going for like, what was it, guys? Like, are they over 20 grand? What are they? Where is it? I think I saw somewhere they're going for like over 20 grand. So basically it's like a car. So anyway, if somebody knows how much they cost, payment method, USD. Anyway, the freaking things are expensive. Put it that way. It's really rough. So that's what we're going to be up against into the future. So now these guys, Foundry, Antpool, Mara, all the other big players out there, they're going to be getting these S23s because that gives them the edge, right? That gives them that hash rate that they need. That puts us, the guys that are using, the small miners, the little ASIC miners, that don't have the power of these large professional ASIC miners. It puts us at a bigger disadvantage. Okay, so that's a fact. Just don't want to sell this with a sugar coating that's not true. So I hope you guys appreciate that. Emmanuel asks, someone also referred me to cloud mining. Is that a good deal? Cloud mining is actually on my list here to briefly talk about. Cloud mining can be a good deal. Hosted mining can be a good deal. It really does depend on your particular situation. There's another thing. I'll bring this up real quick. I dabbled with this as well to see if it was worth it. Go mining, okay? So with Go mining, basically for, I think your first 16 days, you can mine with them for free to try it out. And then for like between 25 and then like $25, you can start increasing your hash rate if you want, okay? Is it worth it? I've invested about $100 in it, and I'd say I've gotten about $100 worth of value out of it so far, if that makes sense. Okay, you get what you pay for with it. You're basically buying an NFT of a miner from this company, and since you own that NFT, whatever that miner produces is you get the reward sent to your wallet. Okay, do I recommend it? Could, not bad. But I mean, if I had my druthers, I would rather put a BitAxe in my room. And then we're going to talk one more thing about cloud mining. Then we're going to talk about pool mining. Okay. So let's Bitcoin cloud mining. So looking these up. So like there's all these different types of lists you can look at. I am not going to say that I am an expert at this. If you want somebody who talks more about cloud mining and they're pretty knowledgeable about it, I would say look up like the Hobbyist Miner. He's a smart guy. He does all kinds of different crypto mining. So he does experiment with different things. But here, I'm just kind of clicking a link. This could be just like a bullshit link here, guys. But, there's different ones out there. NiceHash. Go mining is considered cloud mining. That's why I brought that up. But if you don't have the ability, Emmanuel, if you don't have the space or the finances to go right into getting your own device, that's okay. This might be a good deal for you. That's all about the value you perceive in it yourself, buddy. Are you getting the most for your money? That's going to be the key thing there, okay? I know for Go mining, you get I think it's the first 16 days are free, if I'm correct. Basically, they let you mine for free for 16 days. So might be worth a shot to check it out for you, and then just decide if you do want to do like a every month, or every month you could DCA it and buy a little more hash rate, things like that. So that's really going to be a personal choice with that one. There's also hosted mining. Okay, so with hosted mining, we'll do this before we get into the pool. So we'll do Bitcoin hosted mining. Okay, this is obviously another option if you don't have space, if you don't want to try to have your 150 degree Fahrenheit device pumping in your garage all summer long while you mine. So again, I'm just kind of clicking. I don't. These are probably shilled, but there's a lot. You especially see them on X. There's a lot of these companies that talk about that they do the hosted. Again, a good person to talk to about that or to ask questions or watch videos is the Hobbyist Miner. He has some videos on it. I think there's one called Iowa. Let me just take a look real quick. You got Simple Mining, right? Iowa Mining. I saw them pop up recently. You got Simple Mining. Simple Mining pops up in my feed a lot. Okay, they're basically a large mining farm, and how it works is you buy a miner from them. All right, let's just randomly pick one here. We're going to say we're buying this one. All right. Tells you your power consumption. It tells you your efficiency in electricity, your hash rate. Tells you what it's averaging. You go in here, you let the company know you'd like to buy it. They quote you a price. Excuse me. And then they will host it for you. It'll cost you X amount per month, and they send you your Bitcoin on top of it after that's been paid out. Okay, so it's one of those things you definitely want to, if you decide to do something like this, you definitely want to talk with an expert, one of their sales guys. You definitely want to talk with them before just doing it blindly, just so that way you can make sure it's right for you, because it could be good for you. It might not be good for you. If you're in an area that your electricity bills are really high, then this is probably good because they're getting a good deal on electricity. Okay. Now, I hope that helped clear that up, Emmanuel. If you have other questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. I'd be happy to answer what I can. And if I can't answer, like I said, I will try to find somebody who can answer it for you. Okay. So now we're going to talk about some pool mining. So Foundry, Antpool, via BTC, Ultimus Pool, Spider Pool, Luxor. These are pools. What's a pool? It's a bunch of mining devices that band together to mine together to try to hit a block so that way they can all profit together. Okay? It was not the original intention of Satoshi to have mining pools. The white paper and his emails and posts after Bitcoin went live tell us that. But it is kind of it's the world we live in. I don't know how a better way to put it. Now, if you follow my posts on X, you know that I am not a big fan of 99% of the mining pools out there. I feel that they are major cartels, and that all they're doing is kind of wrecking the chance for guys like us, the regular plebs, to get a chance to actually hit a block. Okay. I do not get paid to mention this stuff. Again, I'm saying that this is my opinion. All right. So if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I respect your opinion. Please respect mine. I currently use, for pool mining, I use Ocean. Okay. I know there's probably some folks out there right now that are rolling their eyes. Oh my God, Luke Dasher and Bitcoin Mechanic. And oh my God, they're disgusting people. And oh, they should be sent to the moon without oxygen tanks. Why do you follow them? I like what Ocean does. I've done my research. Of all the pools, I feel like they are my best fit, and I use them. They have low fees. Remember, if you're mining at a pool, what happens is you hit a block. If it hits a block, if your mining pool hits the block, I'm trying to pull it up so you can see it. BTC. What are you doing? I guess I can't show that on here. Anyway, what happens is you and a bunch of people get together, you put your devices in a pool, you hit a block. Everybody shares based on how much they're contributing to that block, or there's other methods as well. We're not going to get into all the different methods of payment. But basically that's how a pool works. I don't have a lot of power. I still want a better chance to hit a block, or at least make a trickle of Satoshis here and there. I join a pool. I get Satoshis when we hit a block. Okay. Currently, I am using their Datum system. Okay, which means, there it is. Yeah. Okay. So Datum is basically a system where I can I have my own node. Okay, I have an Umbrel node that I purchased. I run Bitcoin knots on there, and see if I can pull it up for you guys. I can. All right. So I have my own node, okay, and this is doing what nodes do. That's a completely different thing. Hey, Gen X. Hey, thanks, buddy. Hey, real quick, guys, because Gen X is here, I want to do this quick shout out. Gen X is an awesome, awesome guy in the Bitcoin community. I've had this sitting here, buddy, because I promised I was going to post this up because I love your stuff. Gen X that just said hi in the chat there. He runs Without Rulers. It is an apparel company that is focused on financial freedom, on the Bitcoin lifestyle. And guys, y'all got to go check out his artwork, his wearable artwork. It is amazing. I honestly, as I've been replacing my wardrobe, I've been losing a lot of weight over the past year. I've lost over 100 pounds. The surgery really helped with that, but I've needed new clothes. And I used to wear because I'm a military veteran, I'm a combat veteran, so I wore mostly grunt style stuff. But I've been switching all of my t-shirts and my hoodies over to without-rulers.com stuff, Gen X's stuff, okay? Because, just look at this, man. He does great work. So Not sponsored by him or anything. He's not paying me to say this. I believe in supporting the community. If somebody has a good product, I think we should talk about it. So not your not your keys, not your coins. There's your Bitcoin, guys. But anyway, if you get a chance, check out without-rulers.com. It's worth the money. This guy does great work. Okay. And the Fed stuff, Bitcoiner slavery. I mean, all kinds of really cool stuff. So just a huge shout out to Gen X for that. And I really love his work. So, okay, back on topic. ADHD. I have my node, my Umbrel node pumping away. I've got a Bitcoin Knots node running on there. We're not going to get into the Knots versus Core discussion. There's other people you can talk to about that. I prefer to use Knots. I have my reasons. I have a datum pool running. Okay. So I have my clients on there. All right. I have my clients on there that are hashing away. And I can configure my datum pool as I like. Now, for a lot of people, that probably looks super complicated. It's not, I promise you. It's not super complicated. Okay. I also have my own mempool. What that allows me to do is it allows me to have my own pool within a pool. So I do connect to the Ocean pool, but I pay less in fees if we hit a block because I am running my own datum pool. I am creating and designing my own blocks. There's great videos online and great people on X that can help you set it up. It took me all of 10 minutes to set up datum on my node. I thought I broke it. I thought I did something wrong because it was so easy and everything just started hashing right away. And it turned out, no, it was just that easy. And it's getting even better and easier as the team over at Ocean refine datum. Okay, so let me look over here. Bitcoin mining pools. Where's that stats page? Where is it? That's what I want to go to. There's a crap ton of pools out there, guys. There's a crap ton of pools. You can go to miningpoolstats.stream, pull it up for Bitcoin, and it'll show you right on here. Here, and go straight up to Bitcoin. Just make sure that's all it's showing. Foundry. They've earned 34 of the last 100 blocks. Oof, man. Antpool via BTC. A lot of these are all, believe it or not, connected to the same cartel of people. Again, we'll get into that at another time. But the reason why I wanted to show you the pools is this is another option. If you don't just want a lottery mine and you say, you know what, I've got more than just a gamma. I would like to put my hash to work and try to get some Satoshis. Use it to stack sats. Cool. Get into a mining pool. That's probably your best option for it. Okay. Again, I'm using Ocean. They're down here. All right. It's been 25 hours since they hit a block, but excuse me. This is not the end all be all of what pool to select. If I were to be in one of these top level pools, my rewards are going to be super low because there's a lot of people in these pools. Look at the total hash rate of the whole network. So currently the whole network hash rate is 829.86 exahash. Okay, that's everybody mining Bitcoin right now. Foundry is over a quarter of that, of the known hash rate. Antpool is 17%. Via BTC is 12. Like, there's these guys, they're major players, okay? So I took Ocean because I like what they stand for. I like that they are not one of the big cartels. I like that every time I reach out to them on X or through email, one of the team members gets back to me. They get back to me super quick. Lily or Luke, or I've had a conversation with Mark Artemko, the president of Ocean. Just, here I have a channel with at the time I had 38 subscribers on YouTube. By the way, if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe on my YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. Remember, the more people that I have subscribed, the more giveaways of BitAxes I can do. I do that out of my own pocket. So, yeah, any trickle of money coming in for that stuff helps. But the mining pool might be for you. And it's okay to dabble, guys. Okay? If you have I don't know, 10 terahash,
in your little mining farm, your little home mining farm, and you want to see what that'll get you, go ahead and slap it on a mining pool. Now, they do have minimums for payout. See here, it says it, like right there, 0.1. So you're going to need $1,000 for Foundry. You're going to need $1,000 at current prices worth of Bitcoin mined in order to pay out. Okay, so that's a lot. Ant pool's lower. Ocean, where's my Ocean at? There we go. With Ocean, it's like, I think it's like currently, if you're not using Datum, it's like $800 worth, something around there. Now, if you don't mine for like 2 weeks, it pays you out what you had because they consider you inactive. But you don't just like lose your Satoshis that you've earned. That's not how it works. But there is a minimum for these payouts, all right? Now, if you're using Datum, thanks, Jen. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat real quick. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you, brother. If you are using Datum on Ocean, then you can use a oops, where's that screen I wanted to go to? Never mind. I'll just go to here. Stay on here. If you're using Datum and you're building your own blocks, you save 50% on the fees, and you can use a Lightning address. You can set up a Core Lightning address to go ahead and get your payments quicker. Okay, you don't have to wait. So there's that. So how I currently do it, guys, with my stuff, I'm going to go back over here so you can look at my ugly mug for a few minutes. How I currently have my stuff set up is my little guys back here, my little bit axes back here. They are all lottery mining. That's what they do. Their whole job is to try to hit a block solo, and they do that through my Umbrel node that I have a node set up for that. I hit the block, it's all mine. Okay. For my bigger miners, my Avalon, my Ant miners, they're in the pool, okay? And I have them on the Ocean pool, and that's so that way I can get I can feel like I'm actually doing something. Okay, I know that might sound weird. It can get frustrating as a solo miner, as a lottery miner, when when you first get it, you're checking that BitAxe, you're looking at the AxeOS screen on your phone, or you're walking over and looking at the little screen waiting for it to say block found, or checking your wallet, right? Every 10 minutes saying, when's it going to be my turn? Then after a couple days of that, it usually clicks that it's a long shot. It's going to be a long shot. So that's where some people start getting, what's the term? You start getting burned out. You start getting jaded a bit, and you're like, you know what? This ain't worth it. This ain't worth mining. And that's when their BitAxe Gamma becomes $150 paperweight. And I don't want to see that. So that's why I'm telling you guys about this ahead of time. The best thing I can tell you is set your expectations. If it is a lottery miner, it is an educational tool to get you into mining so you can learn how mining works, so you can do bigger and better. And it's a cool little conversation piece to have on your desk. So you can say to people, hi, my name is Cinco, and I'm going to orange pill you because of that cool little thing you just saw on my desk. It keeps you part of the network too. Helps decentralize the mining. That little 1 terahash, I know it's not much, guys. It is not even a raindrop in a barrel, okay? But it is still decentralization. And every little bit of the hash rate, of this hash rate, the global hash rate, that we can take away from these guys is a win, okay? Every little bit of the hash rate that we have in our homes that takes away from one of these mining cartels is a win. That's how I see it. It's a moral victory, okay? And if you're going to mine and you want to mine on a pool, set up your own, no problem. You can connect it right to your own node. That's a completely different discussion for another day. That's a little bit more of an advanced topic. And if you want to earn some sats while you're doing it, go ahead and hop in a pool. There's nothing wrong with that. Diversify your hash rate a little bit. Experiment. Find out what works for you. Okay. Now, a lot of people say, you're a miner, you're not going to get rich. Well, you may get rich. I'm not going to say you are. I'm not rich. But I'm hoping one day I wake up and I got that block found message. That's what I'm hoping for. So, okay, let me see here. Got that going. All right, let me see here. Emmanuel, I'll post that for you in 1 second, buddy. Let me look down my list, and I'm going to see what else we need. Okay, so things that I'm not going to get into today, guys. We're not going to talk, as we're kind of on the downslope now of this conversation. We are not going to talk about overclocking. We're not going to be talking about gearing up your mining devices. Those are topics for another day. And honestly, there are other people out there that are brilliant and can talk to you about that. That I am just a dabbler. Okay, you can go over to Open Source Miners United. Okay, they also have a great Discord. All right, but you can go to Open Source Miners United. This is Scott and the boys. Want Clue. Those are the personalities that are behind BitAxe and the open source mining devices. And you can check out their stuff. They've got great documentation, super easy to use. Those guys can. There's whole tutorials on YouTube about how to overclock your BitAxe and this, that, and the other thing. I'm not the guy for that. All right, because I'm not the one to do that. There's some guys out there that do it, and you'll find them if you look through. Heck, let me pull it up over here right now. There's a guy that I follow that goodness gracious, I'll have to post it for you later. There's a couple guys out there that do some really good videos on it. Let me see, decentralized. There's a couple guys out there that do this stuff, and it's just amazing. Okay, I'll post some links when I can as comments for this, but I would recommend checking them out. Okay, we talked a little bit about the hosting, cloud, and remote mining. I'm not going to talk about heat punking. If you are into heat punking, then there's some really brilliant people out there. There's an X community for heat punks. I would recommend checking that out. You can go over to the Home Mining Podcast. They did an interview with one of the main heat punk guys. Heat punking, for those of you who are like, what the hell's he talking about? Cinco, stop using these stupid terms and not telling us what they mean. Heat punking is when people take Bitcoin mining devices because they output heat, tremendous amount of heat, as they convert that electricity into Satoshis. They reuse that heat. They repurpose it. They use it to heat their home water heaters. They use it to heat their homes in the winter. I'm going to be using an Antminer S9. I have a sulcata tortoise. Okay, she's about 85 pounds. She lives in my backyard. In the winter, we have a shed for her. It's a metal shed that she can come into and go freely throughout the day. Well, when it's below 50 degrees out, they kind of go dormant, and they just want to stay in somewhere warm and just kind of sit on the porch and watch the weather go by, because they're cold-blooded animals. They're tortoises. And so what I did was I bought an S9 simply to put in there, and in the winter, I'll turn it on. I can throttle down the hash rate on it to get the heat level that I want. I can actually set it in here. There's configurations, and I could say, keep it at this temperature, whatever temperature I want it to be. Keep it at this temperature. Keep it at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And as long as it's registering that it's pumping out 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it will go ahead. Oops, I did it again. I had the wrong screen up. I can tell my S9, stay at this particular temperature. I don't want you to go over this particular temperature. And that way I can heat my my tortoise's home with it. That's heat punking. It's kind of cool, right? So that's kind of cool. Let me pull some other things up here real quick as we start wrapping this down. Guys, any other questions so far? Got about 200 viewers in here with us between the two different multi-stream channels. I really appreciate that. Please ask me questions, comments. Tell me I'm an idiot about something. I know I am not an expert, so if I didn't get something right, I want to know about it. I was asked what my YouTube channel is. I'm pulling that up so I can post it in the chat for you guys. I hope I'm doing this right. That's my YouTube channel right there. at Cinco Doggos Mining. So hopefully that pulls up for y'all. And again, I do appreciate everyone who likes and subscribes to my stuff. It really does help me. It does help me turn that around. If I ever get monetized, I just turn that around and I buy more BitAxe Gammas with it, and I give them out to the community. Speaking of that, hold on. Gotta get a drink of water. I gotta plug the Bitcoin Army. Let me get this over here on my screen real quick. Where's my communities? So just take me a second, guys. I'm pulling it up. There we go. All right. Guys, the Bitcoin Army on X. Okay? All you got to do is go into X, do an explore search, pull up the Bitcoin Army. We've got 4,300 members currently. I do not run this. I'm not an admin on this or anything. I will help present sometimes. That's about it. But there are really brilliant, amazing people in the Bitcoin Army. Okay? So, great way to connect with other Bitcoiners. Is it mining focused? No, but we do talk about mining in there as well. It's just mostly Bitcoiners that want to be positive with other Bitcoiners and talking about things that involve Bitcoin. Again, sorry guys. My throat's getting really dry. The reason why I bring this up, though, however, is I currently have a... Let me see if I can bring it up over here. I currently have a contest going on. Boop. It's not on there. Okay. I'm silly. Anyway, on the Bitcoin Army, if you go into there, I do have a contest going right now. There's a thread that talks about... there we go. Sorry, I forgot to hit the send button on that in chat for Cinco Doggos Mining for the YouTube. Sorry about that, Emmanuel. That was my bad. Where I'm giving away a Bitcoin, a BitAxe Gamma. Okay, so all you have to do is be a member of the Bitcoin Army. It doesn't cost you anything to do it, and then post a Bitcoin meme. That's it, and you have a chance to win this Friday. I'll be giving away a BitAxe Gamma that I'll be getting from plebsource.com. So please join that if you can. I do these giveaways fairly frequently. So we got that. Come back over to here. So guys, we're going to start wrapping it up right now. Oh, another question Emmanuel had. Can I join different pools at a time using one Antminer? No, you cannot. You're going to mine to one pool at a time. That's the rule, but you can set fallbacks. Okay, most software allows you to set fallbacks. So if one mining pool, for some reason your device cannot connect, the mining pool fails, something happens, it'll automatically go to whatever you have set as your secondary and your tertiary and so on and so forth. You can do that with a BitAxe, you can do that with an Antminer, but no, you cannot split your hash rate on one unit between two different pools. Okay, it's not recommended to do that anyway, even if you could. I mean, you want to try to get your device operating for, you want your focus on one thing. That's going to create your best chance for a win, for hitting either some pool wins or for hitting a solo block win. Okay, so that's kind of the key there. Good question though, Emmanuel. I appreciate that. That was actually a really good question. So I'm going to do kind of a quick wrap up here. What's your budget you're looking at for something like this? It could be as little as $0. If you are doing something like, pull it back up here. If you are doing something like unmineable, $0, you're paying pennies per month just for your electric bill because you're doing it on your computer. Okay, and this is a form of pool mining. Okay, this is just a form of you're turning your GPU power into a pool miner. Okay, and again, 153 Satoshis in about 24 hours. Not going to make you rich, guys. I just did this as an example for those folks that want to dabble and learn about mining. It could be a good place to start because it doesn't cost you anything, and you can do it with your home computer. If you would rather use your phone to dabble, you have an Android or an Apple phone, and you would like to dabble, then what you're probably going to look for is something like, chubby fingers. You're going to want to look for something that's maybe something like this. You can go and download the Go Mining app right from like the App Store. There is no purchase necessary. I do have a referral code for this, but I'm not going to give it to you because I'm not here trying to make money off y'all. You can just go to gomining.com, or like I said, look in your App Store, pull it up. There is no purchase necessary for the first like 2 weeks of trying it out, so you can do that. Just make sure you have you have a wallet to plug in there. So again, things that cost you no money to start. We've got Unminable. You've got something like Go Mining. There's even games, guys, like that ZKB group have games that are like little click games that you can do that you earn sats here and there. You're not going to get rich off of them, but I mean, if that's, if you're trying to look at it, I don't really consider that mining though. But your best bet to start off, in my opinion, is going to be a Bidax. There are a number of excellent sellers across the world that you can take a look at. You can go to bidax.org/buy, and it brings up that list. Again, my recommended for you guys, I recommend Solo Satoshi. I recommend PlebSource. I recommend Xtech. I recommend the Crypto Cloaks guys. They're all reputable. Okay, they're all reputable guys. Don't shop just based on price alone. I mean, price is obviously a big consideration, but so is customer service and quality. Do your due diligence, research the people you're going to buy from. Okay, reach out to the guys. I say guys, there's girls that work in these places too. Kel's over at Solo Satoshi is one of my favorite people in Bitcoin. So I'm not trying to I'm just using the general guys statement. Price isn't the only consideration. I mean, it's obviously a major consideration for your return on investment. Look to make sure that people actually have things in stock. A lot of companies out there that are selling these do not have them in stock. They're generally small companies, guys, and operating out of their garage or whatever, or a small business, and they can't always keep up with demand. Demand right now for Bidaxes is quite high. I got to tell you, I just got a Nerd QX++ from PlebSource the other day, and oh my god, it's a beast. I love it. I got to tell you, I'm really loving that unit. For me, I feel like it was worth the $450. I mean, just oh my god, is it a cool unit? And I also like the OS that I can pull up on my Chromebook to monitor my stuff. That's something we didn't talk about. Is the where is it? I want to see if there's a picture of it on here. Anyway, your Bidax, when you set it up, it's super easy, and then you have a little OS screen you can pull up on your phone, or you can pull up on a computer. Hey, Gilded, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, you can pull it up on your phone, and you can kind of monitor not only your Bidax, but if you have multiple devices on the network, other Bidax-style devices, you can pull it up, and it shows it to you on the Swarm page. It'll automatically detect them for you, and it shows all your miners in one place. So that's kind of neat. Now, like your Ant miners won't show up on that or anything, but that's okay. So anyway, that's a good place to start. Again, you're looking at roughly, depending on who you buy from, $120 to $150 to get started. Most of these places will ship same day if you order before like midday, and you'll have your Bidax the next day or in 2 days. So I mean, if you're in the continental U.S. If you're not in the continental U.S., I've heard that depending on shipping in your particular country, some guys in Western Europe that were ordering from like Solo Satoshi, which is in Texas, I think it took like 4 days to get to them, which isn't bad to ship, part of the way around the globe. So, good places to start. If you're looking to eventually get into something a little bigger, yeah, go with, nothing wrong with used equipment, guys. If you're getting it through something like eBay, you have that guarantee that it's going to work. Just, make sure you look who you're buying from, that they have good reviews and whatnot. But I mean, I've picked this guy right here, this Freehive guy. I've actually bought two, or guy. It's a company. They're a mining outfit. I've bought two S9s from them, and they came in and they were perfect. They're used, but they're in excellent condition. They worked fine. They're hashing away right now. So there's definitely opportunities for that. Remember, reputable sources for mining equipment. We just talked about, the BitAxe. If you want to get something brand new, there are a number of companies out there that will get you something brand new. But again, make sure if you're buying something that's going to cost you a couple grand or, upwards of $1,000, make sure this is really what you want to do first. Even like I'll pull this up real quick here. Let's see. Did I put the address in right? Canaan.io. Nope. Okay. I didn't. Boop. We'll look here. Canaan. I spelled it wrong, that's why. The Nanos are popular right now too, guys. Okay, like the Nano 3s. Let me see here. Avalon Home, there we go. Okay. A 3S will cost you about $300. Okay, little desktop unit. It's sleek. It's unassuming. It does put out heat. So yeah, I mean, little units like that. That's like $300. I think this is putting out what, 4 terahash. Oh, I don't like this website. I'm trying to find where it talks about the hash rate of it. Anyway, there's 6 terahash. There you go. So you're looking at like $50 a terahash is your investment on this. Okay, $50 a terahash. So not bad, but if you don't want to drop $300 yet, go with a BitAxe. You've got those little nerd miners, but like I said, guys, that's something more like a keychain item that you're going to get for like a kid. They're not even as easy to set up as a BitAxe. Smaller does not mean easier. So, does the terahash determine the amount it can hash? So the electricity that it can pull along with the number of ASIC chips is what's going to determine your hash rate. Okay. So like here, this one here is saying it's 6 terahash. So it's got 12 chips. Okay. So those chips with the electricity going into it and your heat dissipation is what's going to kind of come together to determine how strong that unit is. All right. Remember, when that electricity comes in, you're turning it into something. In this case, you're turning it into a cipher code. There has to be some type of an output. The output is heat. So that heat has to go somewhere. The hotter the unit runs, generally with any electronics, the hotter it runs, the slower it runs. And of course, then you're talking about you can get chip burnout, you can damage equipment, the delicate equipment inside of these devices. So you want to try to keep them as cool as possible. Yeah, Gilded, I'll reach out to you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. That's kind of what you need to pay attention to there. You're going to be, it's just basic science, guys. You are turning the electricity from your wall socket into a code, and then you are dumping heat from doing that, from the process of the chip doing that. Okay, so and it all depends on how much money you want to spend to do that. Again, I do not recommend jumping in to super duper expensive big ass units right away. Some of these units can get very, very pricey. Okay? They can get very pricey. And for a home miner, like for me, $1,600 is a lot of money. Okay? $1,600 is just a lot of money to dump on a unit. Does that mean it's not a good unit? No, that's not what that means at all. It's a very good unit. Canaan Avalons are excellent miners. But if I'm a home miner and I don't have the infrastructure in my house, the correct electricity capabilities, the plugs, all that, I mean, I'm looking at, if I got to put a plug in the house for this, okay, that's $500 extra. Now I'm at $2,100 for that. And then I also have to worry about my electric costs. So you got to weigh those things. Okay. You got to weigh those, what works for you and what doesn't. So come back over here as we're starting to wrap up. We talked that is profit guaranteed? Profit is not guaranteed. There's no way that anyone can guarantee that you're going to hit a block. If you are in a pool or you are using a service and they guarantee you will hit a block, I got a bridge to sell you. Come talk to me too. I got a bridge to sell you. It's the whole purpose of this game is it's fair. Okay, we're all trying to get that block, and it's fair because we all have the opportunity, but we all don't have the guarantee. All right, so just keep that in mind. There's some pitfalls with this. Okay, there is FOMO. That is definitely a thing. Fear of missing out. If you're a person that's like, oh man, I'm addicted to hash rate now. I started out with 1 hash, and now I want 10. Now I want 100. Oh, my next goal is a petahash. I want to have my own mining farm in the backyard in a steel crate. Pardon me. More power to you. It's going to cost a lot of money to do it. If you're lucky enough and you hit a block and you convert that into more mining equipment, hey, you're my hero. But just be aware, like, there is some FOMO that can go with this. You might see a new device come out and all of a sudden you're like, I need it. I'm that guy. I do that. I'm not going to lie. I'm that guy. I see something cool come out. Those QX Hydros that are coming out. Oh my God, they look so cool. I want one, right? There's a guy that designed, I think he's over in Greece. There's a guy that designed solar powered bit axes. Okay. You put the bit axe inside the unit. It's got these solar panels that automatically track the sun. I'm in Texas. I'm like, hell yeah, that's cool as heck. I want one of those. It's like $1,000 for that unit. And that doesn't include the bit axe. It's just the unit to stick out in your yard and let the solar track. Is that a bad price? No, I actually think that's actually value-wise. I think for someone in a hot place like me, that's actually really good. I just can't spend $1,000 on that right now for something that to me would be a novelty, because it's not guaranteed. It's still just running a bit axe. It's not guaranteed to make me money. After the $1,000, it's not really costing me anything because it's running on solar. So there's that. But yeah. There's all these cool little things out there, but you got to watch the FOMO. There's also the money sinks. Okay. That's where you start buying things just to buy it, and it really has no intrinsic value to your mining farm. Okay. Back here, I got all these gammas. Why do I have these gammas? These gammas are not making me a ton of money, guys. These gammas are something that I collect and I play with. They're my toys. They're my Bitcoin toys. Okay. Do I recommend a new miner do this? No. Don't do that. Smack your hand. No. That's not the way to go. If you start off with a gamma, don't fall into the money sink of buying 15, 20 gammas. Again, if that's your hobby, I'm not telling you not to do it. But if you're doing it because you're addicted to hash rate, you're going to want to look at something bigger in the future. You're going to want to look at, Antminers. You're going to want to look at Canaan. You're going to want to look at the other reputable companies out there that are actually going to put out that more hash rate and be more effective at it. Okay. If you're a collector of cool Bitcoin stuff, Bitcoin mining stuff, do it. Absolutely. It's your money. You do you. I'm right there with you doing it. And you'll also hear people say, mining nowadays, unless you're in, if you've got a major mining operation, if you're not doing a major mining operation, you might as well just DCA. You might as well just dollar cost average. Put $10 a day away and buy Satoshis through your, whatever exchange you use. Guys, DCAing is great. And I guarantee you that most of the people out there that hardcore DCA are going to have more Satoshis in their wallet, more Bitcoin in their wallet than I do. Okay? I enjoy mining. I am a modern day dwarf. I'm a modern day fantasy dwarf. These back here, they're my pickaxes. That's my bit axes are my pickaxes. We're mining Mithril, and Mithril is Bitcoin. That's what it is to me. I'm a modern day Fantasy Dwarfs. That's how I look at it. I enjoy mining. I love it. If any of you have ever played computer games, I play a game called EVE Online. I've been playing it for over 20 years, and I mine in that game. I make no money off of that. I pay them money to do it, but I enjoy it. I'm a space miner in that game. I have my mining ship, and I go around and I mine things, and I sell things to other people online with it. Fake money, not real money. It's just something that I enjoy. I think it's cool to acquire. Okay, so that's one of the things. DCAing is great. I also recommend, if you are a miner, DCA as well. Please DCA. You know, even if it's $10 a week, I don't care what it is. Stack sats, put them away, put them on a cold wallet. That's good. Do that. All right, that is a good thing to do. There's no one way to do everything in Bitcoin. That's one of the beauties of it, right? So you've got people out there that are doing the MicroStrategy thing, and you've got people out there, which just isn't for me. To me, that's still just stock. But there's people out there making a shit ton of money off of it. So who am I to tell them they're wrong? I'm not going to tell them they're wrong. There's guys who have big mining operations. There's guys that are DCAing $100 a day or more. If you can do it, do it. Fantastic. Or if you dabble in a little bit of all of it, even better. Diversify within Bitcoin. That's fantastic. So just be aware. There is a lot of options with that. All right, we're going to start wrapping up now. We've been doing this for about an hour and a half, coming up on actually almost 2 hours. So I've got about 300 viewers in here. I really do appreciate y'all. And I hope that I've answered. I'm scrolling back right now to make sure. I think I've answered most of the questions for people that I've seen pop up. If I haven't, go ahead, shoot the questions in now, because I'm going to start wrapping this up. We're going to end the stream here in about 5 minutes. Like I said, this will be on my YouTube channel as well, so you can always go back and view it. Let me see if I can put this in here again. I can. I'm going to hit that. If you guys can please like and subscribe, I appreciate it. Again, if I ever get monetized on YouTube, that money goes into buying miners and putting them out to the community as giveaways, free giveaways. Okay, that's what I do with this stuff. I'm not doing my YouTubing and my X to get rich. I do this to connect with cool people, and because I like to talk. After I got out of the military, I was a podcast host and a radio host. I enjoy running my mouth, if you have not noticed. I like talking to people. So on that note, one of my videos, Emmanuel, I think it automatically updates when I'm done. I think it just uploads itself because I have it connected right to YouTube. So it will definitely go up today, buddy. Some of the videos you'll see on my channel, existing and coming up. That link didn't work for you, bud? That I put in the chat right there? YouTube.com / @Cinco Doggos Mining. But yeah, if you guys can, and share that out to your friends too. Again, the more people I have that subscribe and like, then of course the more I can do. But some of the things you're going to see on my channel, what do I focus on? One of my favorite things to do is interviews. Okay, I get with people within the Bitcoin community and I interview them. There's an interview up right now that I did with Mr. Mark Artimko. Mark is the president of Ocean. That is on the channel already. You can go back and see that. Again, if you look up Cinco Doggos Mining, CINCODOGGOS Mining, MINING, on YouTube, you'll see it. But I did an interview with him. He is the president of Ocean Mining Pool. We talked for about an hour. It was fantastic. I learned a lot about mining on Ocean from him. It was really cool. And about Datum, which I really enjoy. I'm going to be reaching out to other creators within the Bitcoin space, as in artists. I would love to get Gen X on here at some point, the Without Rulers guy that's talking in chat right now. I'd love to get him on here at some point if he's willing to do it, so we can talk about his inspiration behind his company and why he does what he does and his beliefs. Anything Bitcoin, I want to talk about it. I also do generally 6 days a week. I will put out right around this time. It's not going to go out today because we're doing this live talk, but I'll do a daily Bitcoin update. Just talks about the price, the current hash rate in the environment, the difficulty adjustments coming up, and any important news that I saw, okay, that I thought was interesting. That's generally what you're going to see on my channel. But a lot of interviews. That's going to be my key thing. That's what I've always done in the past, and that's what I like to do, is to talk with people and let them tell their story on the channel. If you have topics you guys would like to see, thanks, Jen. I appreciate you putting that up, buddy. Thank you for your help with that in the chat. Excuse me. If you have topics you would like for me to talk about, let me know. DM me. You can DM me right on X. I'm at Cinco Doggos. So yeah, let me know. If it's something I can do, I'll try to do it. If it's something I can't do, I'll try to find somebody who's an expert on it, and I'll interview them so they can talk about it. Right? So that's the way we can do it. I'm going to be trying to get folks to talk about Bitcoin knots on here. I'm going to get folks to talk about Bitcoin Core if I can get some of the core guys on here to talk about it. I am going to get people, if possible, on here to talk about some of the other BIPs that are out there. Those are the improvement suggestions that go on in the development space for Bitcoin. Some that have been brought up. I would like to get some of those folks to talk about those, why they think they should happen or why they think they shouldn't. I am going to be reaching out to some of the folks at different mining pools to talk about their mining pools, see if they will come on and talk with me. My goal isn't to get them on here and then shit on them. My goal is to get them on here so we can talk about why they feel that their mining pool is a good thing and why it's healthy for Bitcoin. The manufacturers of devices, I'll try to get them on here, as well as some of the guys in the open source areas, like the BitX guys and stuff like that. So we'll work on that. So Jen said, well said, DCA into the most scarce thing known to man can help compensate your mining costs for all the times you don't hit a block. 100% agree, Gen X. 100% agree. That's why diversifying is good. If you put all your eggs in one basket, you drop that basket, you lost all your eggs, right? That's just an adage we've heard through the years. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. DCAing is a great way to hedge against not hitting a block, whereas trying to hit a block by mining is a great way to try to subsidize your DCAing, if that makes sense. Thanks, Emmanuel. I appreciate your support, buddy. Thank you for subscribing. And it's free, guys. To subscribe is free. It costs you nothing. We all like free, right? So yeah, we're going to start talking about that stuff. Other than that, I'm going to start wrapping it up. Final questions. I'm giving it 2 minutes. Type your questions in now if you've got them. Questions, comments, concerns, and we'll take it from there. My next full-length video will be this Sunday, and I don't have a topic yet. But when I do, I'll let you guys know on X what the topic is. But this one, this live thing just kind of came up on the spur of the moment. Yesterday, I was like, you know what? Let's talk about mining. Why not, right? I'm sitting at home. I can't work right now. Yeah. After this, I'm probably going to go take a nap because still recovering from that surgery and it's killing me. I don't mean literally. I just mean, it's not literally killing me. It's just my body's like, Cinco, go lay down. But yeah, we'll start talking about that. We'll talk about nodes, running nodes, different types of nodes that are out there. We can talk about a bunch of stuff, guys. Also, just so you're aware, for my folks in here that are hardcore Bitcoiners, please know that I will occasionally do videos on DPIN. Okay, so devices like WeatherXM and GeoDNet, Helium Network, things like that you can attach to your house or your car that make you money. Okay, so that's another thing I do because I try to find things in my life that are passive income related that help me turn fiat currency into Satoshis or turn into mining devices. Okay, so I have a Deep device back there. You can't really see it here. I'll hold the hat up because that's the logo for it. I do have a Deep node. That is a company that does decentralized computer hosting for companies, and you get a cut of whoever subscribes because you run the device in your house or your business or whatever. As long as you have good uptime, you get a cut of that subscription price. And right now, the anticipated earnings are about $1,000 a year, $1,000 US a year per Deep device. So I did pick one of those up. I'll talk about that as soon as we start getting more information on it and I start seeing numbers roll in. There's a couple weather devices that I've been looking at. One that I have that is not earning. I feel it was a money sink, so we'll be talking about that too. Weather XM, y'all need to get on the ball because I'm not making money and I don't like it. Okay, so Emmanuel, I'm gonna try to get this video uploaded like ASAP, buddy. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up now. Thank you all so much. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe. You can also follow me on X at Cinco Doggos so you can get alerts when I do things, as well as all the corny stuff I post during the day. Yeah, really appreciate it, guys. I hope you all have a great rest of your, what is it, Thursday already? Jeez, it's Thursday the 5th of June. Holy cow. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will see you on Sunday for my next video. This is Cinco signing off. Good luck. I hope somebody out